What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to another video. So today we're going to be installing a few bits and pieces, accessories for the 690 SMCR, and I would like to take you guys along. But before we get started, I would like to thank today's sponsor, which is NiceCNC.com. They are a provider of very nice CNC machine parts, not just for the KTM 690, but also for ATVs and cars, many different brands of motorcycles. So I urge you guys to check them out and see if you guys have anything that you guys need from there. And I assure you, the quality is top notch. I mean, I didn't originally reach out to NiceCNC for these parts. If you guys recall from my old videos, I installed their CNC heel guard here, which I really love. And I think out of lucky chance that they just kind of saw my video, I think, or my posting, that they reached out to me organically, which is like, I love that. It's just one of those things that are, I guess it's just meant to be. So I don't really like pushing products here in the channel, to be honest. I don't like pushing products here unless I believe in it and I like it. And this is one of those. So, and that's my disclaimer at that. So let's start with showing you guys the parts that are provided for us today for this video. So NiceCNC generously provided these parts to us to install today and see how I like them. So we're gonna start with the sprocket cover. I'll give you guys a look, the quality of it. That's why I really like what they do. So look at that. Like, there's no, like, the way this is machined, it's just, yeah, I mean, there's some heft to, I mean, it's not heavy, but like, there's like, it's solid. This is a solid material right here. Really well made. You got some, this is the chain slider here that you have to install separately. You got some screws, and we have the engine protection here. This is the left side, which is the clutch side. Wait, no, this is the right side, which is the clutch side. The clutch is on the right side on the KTM 690. And this is the stator side on the left side. And we use RTV silicone to install these. Same with like the DRZs and all these other stuff that uses those. And we have a fuel filler cap, NiceCNC as well. That's solid. We have a CNC machined rear brake pedal. Well, so brake lever actually. This is one of those parts that usually break when the bike falls down, and this is solid. Like, this is not gonna break. So if you compare this with the stock one, which you'll see shortly here. And lastly, we have rear stands, also in CNC. Very nice. So we're gonna get started here. I'm gonna get my tools together and I'll show you guys how all this comes together. I think the only most involved install here is this thing, because you have to remove the whole foot assembly to install this, because this goes on the back of this. So you'll see. So I'm gonna get started. Alright guys, so I just unpacked every item here. As you can see, we have all of them laid out. This is super nice. Each of them came with their own kind of logo where you put them. I put them on my sprocket cover already. But this one, I'm not sure where it actually goes. There's no indent. So we'll see where it could look good to put on. Yeah, we'll just see about that. And here's there's one for the fuel cap here. Really nice quality, look at that. And we're gonna put the sticker on that as well, which is that one. And the stands, the rear stand attachment right here. So I guess we'll start with the easiest one, which is of course these, and see how it goes on. Let's see. Okay, so like I said, super easy. It goes in on the rear swing arm right here with a thread. Twist it a little bit, make sure it starts, not to strip it. We can do Loctite on these, but I'm not doing a Loctite right now. I'm just gonna put them all on and see how they all look, and we'll come back to it and Loctite it later. You can see here. tightening them up. Just want to see a good visual before I, finalize everything. So just hand tight. I think that's, I don't even know what the torque numbers would be like, what, 20 foot-pounds on these, which is like just hand tight. It's not. There you go. So I think the next easy thing is do the RTV on this, and then I guess at the same time we'll remove the rear assembly here. This is the one that I'm talking about when it's a little bit involved, because I have to remove this, just to get this out, because the rear brake assembly is behind all of this. So let's get started on that. So I want to do a quick shot of the RTV application here. I did it a little bit generously. I think their instruction says to like put more generously on the part, and then it will like kind of squeeze out, and then that makes sure that you have full contact on each surface. So we're just gonna do the same thing and see how it goes. I never actually done this before, but I've seen it done. So let's go ahead and do that. So as you can see here, you can see some of the material oozing out. That means we have full contact. I'm gonna go ahead and clean it up before it dries up. And I think I'm gonna put some kind of tape on here just to kind of hold it in place while it's drying. But for the most part, this is all you have to do. It's really nice. I try to line up the NiceCNC and make sure it's lined up level to the ground before it all dries up. And we're gonna do this. We're gonna do the same thing on the other side with the clutch cover. Here it is. I went ahead and did the same for the other side. It's liberally applied it. It's gonna ooze out, but that's how you do it. And it is a messy install, but we're gonna try to clean it up as best we can. You know how we do. Okay, so a little bit of progress. We went ahead and removed the back panel, which is this one right here, and this one right here. So we have access to the fuel filler cap, which is, there's the line right here that we have to disconnect. I just made a mistake of filling up the bike, so hopefully there's no issues with that. Make sure to not drop anything in here every time you're working on a gas tank. So I'm gonna turn off the camera and concentrate and then show you guys the after results, which is pretty, it's not like, you guys have seen this before. So remove this, and this, take off the plastic piece, install the new one, put the hose back on, that's it. So, but the fuel is full. So I'm gonna go ahead and concentrate and show you guys the results. All right, so before I seal this up, I wanna show you guys what I did here. So there is a barbed fitting on the NiceCNC filler cap. I went ahead and added just a zip tie just for good measure, just so it doesn't come loose. There wasn't originally one, but I just added it just so for my peace of mind. So you have to reuse the old O-ring from the older filler cap, and I put that on here. I'm gonna put the screws in now. So here's what it looks like. I'll show you guys when it's fitted. So a few things to note with this install is that the base is now raised up. It makes removing this plastic piece a little bit difficult, because before you can just kind of slide in like horizontally like this to hook into these screws. There's like a slot here, and there's like a hook down here as well. I was wiping it. Yeah, so there's like a hook down here as well, and it kind of just slides in this way. Now you kind of have to play with it a little bit, because this base is a little bit high now, so that it can't just slide in. You have to kind of angle it and then kind of seat it. So just like a little bit of trick. So, but it does look way better than stock to me. So if this is something that you're looking for, definitely check out NiceCNC for that. But that's how it looks like. There is a tether that's supposed to be here. I didn't put that on because I don't know, I just kind of don't like the one with, I don't like the wire look to it. So just kind of goes in like that. So if this is not something that you're looking for, you want a lockable one, definitely this is not going to be for you. But this is for, it's a track bike, so it's easier for me to just not take my key off and access the fuel tank this way. So we're gonna move on and tackle the foot pegs now and see how difficult that one is. Alright guys, so we have the rear peg removed. A screw there, big screw, 2 screws down here. I had to remove the belly pan, so because it's hooked into the bottom of the foot peg here. So Here's what the assembly looks like from the back. Comes with a rod. I'm not gonna change any of the settings. I'm just gonna remove this OEM brake lever. I'm not gonna change any settings, like I said. So I'm just gonna remove it with that screw and that spring, and put everything back original. So I don't have a it should be pretty easy. Look at the quality of this solid CNC machine part. So now it's all assembled back in place. Like I said, 2 screws there. I didn't change any of the setting. We'll see. I mean, it should be the same. The angle is the same. The shape is the same. So it's just a stronger piece compared to, let's put this down here, compared to this thing. Look how flimsy this is. This is gonna snap. If not, it's gonna break really, really easily. So I've had experience with this breaking on my 690 SMC 2008 before when we dropped it. So there's no heft to it at all. So this one, much nicer. There we go. We're gonna put this back on. It's gonna look like that. Let's see what it looks. All right, guys. So I've run into our first hurdle. So as you can see, I just mentioned I was gonna put this back on, but as you can see here, since it is thicker material, like this shape here, it does hit this part of the bike here. So this is a protective cover for, I think, that goes into the, I think this is your, I can't remember on top of my head, but this is a sensor. It's a very important thing. That's why they actually cover it, because it's located right here. And I don't want to remove this part just to install the brake pedal. So unfortunately, this is, we do it real here in the channel. So I'm gonna have to use this with this one back. As you can see how much thinner this is. It's just enough that it clears that. So unfortunately, as nice as this is, I cannot make it work for this specific motorcycle. So look how thick that is. That bend right there is the one that's causing the clearance issue. So we're gonna put it back. It is what it is, and then we'll move on to the sprocket cover. At least maybe that one will work. All right, so here we are putting the stuff back on, stock one. I do have a replacement peg here, but for now I'm just gonna put it back just as is. And I reported back to NiceCNC the fitment issue, so I can't say that this is gonna happen for every bike. Mine is a 23. Maybe they changed something here. I can't say for sure. I'm not positive about the previous years, but maybe this design of their brake lever was for a previous year that this wasn't an issue. So it's still, like I said, although a sponsored product, still a very nice quality. If it fit, then that's the only thing. So it's just a minor, I'm sure they can adjust once I report the issue back. That's kind of the point of all this. So we keep it real here, I guess, and I'm reporting back any issues I find. So that's one. We're gonna put this back on and then move on to the sprocket cover. So for the sprocket cover, we're just gonna remove this bolt and this bolt, and I think that looks like it. This one, that one. Let's see if that's all there is. That's all I can see. These ones are not part of it. All right. All right, guys, we are now done. For the most part, I apologize if you guys are hearing a background noise. Somebody started construction outside the house just randomly. So here we are. I cleaned up a little bit. I want to show you guys what we did today. We have the case cover still drying. I still have to clean it up, but I'm letting it dry for a little bit so that while I'm wiping it, it doesn't move around. So, and here it is. This one is the sprocket cover. I have to remove these 2 front bolts here, which holds the clutch slave. I think this is the clutch slave cylinder. So that's it kind of goes in line with that. And this one installed really nicely. So this one had no issues. So there it goes. There's a slider underneath there, which is another plastic piece. I'm thinking about changing the sprocket to maybe a gold color, something like that, to kind of, since you can see more of the sprocket and the chain now. So I might change this up so that it looks kind of nice in here. But from this point of view right here, it looks kind of nice. Make sure you don't wear loose laces, which I don't, so I'm not worried about getting caught in there. We have the fuel filler cap. That one's really nice as well. That one I didn't put the tether on, like I said earlier. I just put on a black peg here, but unfortunately we cannot make the NiceCNC brake lever work because like I mentioned earlier, there's a cover down here for a sensor that is getting hit by the thicker material of the foot pedal. So I reported that to NiceCNC. Hopefully they'll come back to me with maybe like did I do something wrong? I don't think I did something wrong. It's pretty straightforward. Clearly I could put this back in much easier than the other one. So there is a clearance issue with that cover right there. So for the most part, that's pretty much what we did today. And hopefully you guys learn something about some parts here. It's really unfortunate because this one's really nice. So maybe if they have a redesign, we'll try it again. But it's such a nice quality machine. So I think maybe, I don't know if you guys can chime in if you guys have a previous year 690 that this works with. Maybe that's the case because they didn't design this like this just randomly. So I'm sure they spec'd it out on a bike and it worked, but for mine it doesn't. Mine's a 23, so maybe there is something to that. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Hopefully this is informative. I gotta buy a stand now. Forgot to point that out, that I have that now. It sticks out a little bit, so maybe when the bike falls, this one kind of catches it a little bit. But okay guys, so there it is. That's the parts install, minus one that had a unfortunate misfitment. So once they get back to me, I'll report to you guys if there's any development to that, if you guys are still interested in finding out. But I'm sure it's easy for them to just kind of tweak the design a little bit. Maybe for the 23, there is a slight difference in measurements. So yeah, once again, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys for the next video.